welcome to the Late Night Snacking Podcast.
We're your hosts, Devin and Anita, and this is our weekly podcast where we grab a blanket and some snacks and talk about all things relationships, growing pains, and navigating through, honestly, life itself.
We hope our experiences encourage others to grow to become the best versions of themselves, and for their relationships. Grab a snack and let's go! What is up, snackers? Ooh-woo.
What's going on, man?
Oh boy.
What's the word? What's the deal?
Welcome back! Oh my gosh.
It's been a long time.
It really has.
What's going on, y'all, boys? It's good to see y'all, man. I hope it's good to see us.
Y'all, it is season 5. It is 2024. We are in a new year.
Man,
Oh my God. It's been a while.
it's been a
Like-
long time.
I think the last time we put out like an actual episode was what? Like mid-November?
Yeah, and that was
Yeah.
a
Quite a
minute
while
ago.
ago. Yeah.
So much has happened since then, so.
Hopefully you've been keeping up with... Oh, first disclaimer. I'm a little under the weather-ish. So my
Sickly.
voice, if you watch Friends, is giving sticky shoes. So we got a lot going on nasally wise over here. But I'm going to do my best. But I forgot what I was going to say. Hate to see it. I had a train of thought. It was going, hopefully you've been keeping up with our vlogs. We've done a whole series for December. So if you haven't watched those,
Yeah, the holiday vlogs. Go check them out. Ugly Christmas Sweater.
yeah, we've been
All
we've been
that.
all over the place. Yeah, we traveled. We got some Aldi snacks that we're trying in there. We did a whole thing. So go catch up with us if you want some extra content and you haven't watched yet. So hope y'all enjoyed that. We are so excited to be back on the actual pod and get back to being the most
Honest podcast.
Mm-hmm.
The most open podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And the most wholesome podcast in the world.
We're really excited to get back to doing that. So
Yeah, we missed y'all, man. I ain't gonna lie.
we did. Addressing the elephant in the room. It is wedding year, y'all. Your faves get married this year. T-minus
Coming up on like 4 months and some change.
a little less. About 3 and some change now. I know. Time is flying. We've got... Oh, my goodness.
We're about to come up on a year of being engaged, though.
I know.
It's on the way.
Maybe we'll do something fun for that one. I don't know.
Like 2-3 weeks from now.
Yeah. That's exciting.
And my birthday this month,
Your
man.
birthday is
Come
this
on, man.
month.
January 22nd, everybody. All rise and accept the God.
Please. Please. Yes. What do you want to tell the snackers how old you're turning, or is that confidential information?
No, I'm turning 30.
Dirty 30. Wow.
The big 30, man. We're going up. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I'm so excited for you.
You know what I'm saying?
You're becoming like
A whole lot of.
Oh. A whole man.
Yeah.
Love to see it. So yeah, we have a lot going on. Honestly, I'm most excited for this season because y'all are really living, this sounds like kind of dumb, but y'all are actually living life with us this season because
Very much so.
last year we talked here and there about wedding planning, but the actual big stuff for wedding planning wasn't really happening.
Yeah.
Now that we're just a few months away, shit is getting real. Shit
Indeed
is getting
it is.
real. We're getting dresses, tuxes, bridesmaids are getting together, groomsmaids are getting together. We got bachelorette and
Bachelor
bachelor
parties.
trips coming up. Yeah, we got bridal
Treacherous.
shower coming up. We've got trial things going. We got to meet the caterer and meet with our wedding planner, and we have so many things.
Marriage counseling.
Picking out bands, everything is happening within the span of 3 months right now. So yeah, I'm excited for y'all to be with us during this time because it's really exciting for us. So
Yep.
it'll be fun to have our snackers come along for the ride. So I'm really excited for that. Okay, so instead of unpack the snack, I think we are doing away with that. Is that correct?
We are. And we're switching it up for something a little bit more exciting, a little bit more comical. Like I said, I'm here for the laughter. So
Now,
here for the laughter.
I will say, let us know, because your feedback is important. That is part of the reason why we are letting go of the unpack the snack. But if that is something that you want us to keep, whereas like y'all submit the questions or scenarios you would like feedback on.
Yeah, it ain't no fun when we got to think of them.
Yeah, like it's not fun when we have to like
lame.
pull teeth to have y'all give us something to like talk about. So we're doing away with that one for now. If it's really something y'all want us to bring back, please let us know and vocalize it.
Yeah,
so
we'll
can
run it
bring
back.
We'll run
No
it
problem.
back. But right now we are making the executive decision to cut it because it is not doing anything for our podcast right now. So, boom. New segment. Please bring it in because
Yeah, so
it's hysterical.
we're about to introduce the Late Night Slacking
Oh, God.
Gallery. Yes, the Late Night Slacking Gallery. And it's pretty much just pictures of us and others caught slacking. You know, just...
Oh, we're dragging others into this too?
Oh, of course.
No one's safe.
No one is safe. So, yeah, it's going to be a whole lot of...
Therefore,
you're going to want to see these. It gets kind of crazy.
Therefore, you have to tune in every week because you just might find your face.
Yeah. And you can catch it right here. It'll be right here, right here.
They're going to kill us.
It's going to be like a news anchor, like a news thing. It's going to this Justin Late Night Slacking.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so it could be you. It could be your mama. It could be your granny.
Ooh, whoa.
Nobody is safe. So
We're getting a little less wholesome this year. We're a little unhinged, I guess.
yeah, the wholesome shit that it got boring.
Do we need to change our slogan?
This is the year where we step into
rebrand.
our villain mode this year. So
Oh, my God.
yeah, we're gonna do a lot of stuff y'all not gonna like, a lot of stuff y'all not gonna appreciate.
I'm
but,
dead.
You know,
Okay.
transparency. You know,
I cannot.
from
with
us to you.
Are we doing the unpack the what? Unpack?
No, we're doing away with the unpack the snack. No
Are
more.
we doing the late night slacking tonight?
Yes, we are.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Ring us in then when you are ready.
So, right here. See that? Slacking. Slacking. What is this? This filter. The shape of the head.
It's not okay.
And the glasses. Slacking. That's nasty work, I must say. That's nasty work.
Snapchat be doing people so dirty. It's not okay.
Life, man. You know.
Life.
Comes at you fast sometimes.
This has officially started a war between us. So that's your ass next week. Stay tuned for Late Night Slacking.
Late Night Slacking.
All right. Shall we move on to the snacks? Because we went a little differently during our last Aldi haul.
Yeah, man. Hashtag health this year. We trying.
Hashtag health.
I mean, we was already kind of healthy, but we diving all the way into it.
Yeah, we're going for it this year. Is it very cliche that we are getting on the health train at the start of the year? Of course. But
Yeah, but what's gonna separate us from the rest is we really living like that, like for
okay,
real, for real.
Now what's funny, did I put it up on my story? Let me check.
Why you doing that? So we got the Bench's.
Oh, no. I didn't.
100 calorie baked chocolate chip wafer snacks, no preservatives and no fructose corn syrup.
Nice.
Yeah, so
Chocolate chip,
yep. And you know where they from? Aldi.
Sorry.
They hit. I rock with
That
them.
was probably really loud. But no, I was looking
Also
for...
from Aldi, a little sparkling water. It's dirty though. I ain't gonna lie to y'all boys.
I was looking for it on my story. I found a video of us on this day from 2 years ago, and we were trying to make a workout vlog. And I was like, the
Wow.
fact that we recorded one workout vlog, it wasn't even a full vlog, it was just an introduction being like, here we are working out, and we never worked out down here like that ever again.
Occasional lifts, some push-ups here and there, but nothing consistent.
No. I just thought it was funny that you were saying that we were going to stick with it, because our track record does not have us sticking with it. Now, that is a great segue into our topic tonight. But is there anything else you want to address before we move forward?
Now let's get into these facts. Get into these gems, man. That's what we here for. There's no more wasting y'all time. You know, we jumping right into it.
Basically.
Letting y'all know what it is, man.
Okay. So,
The real.
the real. So, le topic for tonight is actually a conversation that we had with each other in the car on the way back from Florida. So, one thing that we are like infamous for is whenever we have a long car ride or whatever, at some point in time,
We have some real ass deep
conversation.
Like every time it's guaranteed.
And it doesn't even start off serious half of the time. It's like somebody makes a comment. It's like, you know what? And then we just start going into like
Yeah.
life. But
Unpacking trauma, like
all types of
it
shit.
gets crazy, man. Diving into family trees and shit. Like,
Cars passing us on the highway, not even knowing that we're like
yeah, man. It's
having that serious of a conversation.
it's like that.
It is. And it's funny because that's actually how the podcast started, was us being like deep in thought in a conversation like that and being like, oh, we should record this. So,
And that's, podcast.
and boom, Late Night Snacking was born. So basically in the car on the way back from Florida. So this was New Year's Eve, like 2 days before New Year's Day. So what, Saturday? And we were pretty much just talking about how like individually mindsets are like kind of changing going into the new year, and like what are goals that we want to accomplish together, and what are some things that we want to do separately, and yada yada yada. And it kind of just turned into us like evaluating how we handle like hardships and like passions and stuff like that. Like, who are we really? Are we hard workers? Do we give up when the tough gets going? Like stuff like that. Like we were really sitting down evaluating like what has happened over the past year, maybe even the year before,
Right.
with like projects we've started, things that we've done together. How have we changed over time? What has shaped us? Like just different stuff like that. So I was telling him in the car, I was like, this is kind of good to talk about on the podcast because these are conversations that we encourage you all to have with your partners or even friends, like just people that you want to see do better, and people that you're really rooting for and stuff like that. And we root for each other. So I was saying like this is just good conversation for people to have with people that they care about, because like this is real life. Like we're moving on forward, we're getting married, like obviously we have goals and dreams and things we want to accomplish. So yeah, we were just talking about all types of stuff. So we'll go ahead and like get into where our mindset is and where it's going and stuff like that. I'm sure it'll gear off into like 10 billion tangents like it did in the car, but that's the beauty of the conversation. So one of the big things that I asked you in the car was like, what do you feel like last year taught you like about yourself and just like about life in general? So if you want to like start there, we can.
Last year kind of showed me that like I need to step into and embrace who I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
And what I'm supposed to be like to you, and like honestly, like just for myself.
Yeah.
And I think we talked about how, I don't know, I feel like I need space to do that.
Yeah.
Like to really become who I'm really supposed to or whatever. So a lot of like space to think freely and like create freely.
Yeah.
Without having like, I don't know.
Like distractions.
Yeah,
and
without
stuff.
having like distractions or whatnot.
Yeah.
To kind of like throw me off course. So mainly just being focused,
Yeah.
right? Just being focused on who I am, my capabilities, like the abilities that I have now and who I'm supposed to be, and the role that I'm stepping into as a newfound husband. So
Yeah.
I think with like some space, you know, and that's not meaning like space away from like her or anything, or just, but a space where I can be like an individual for a second.
Yeah.
Because that's one thing we was talking about, is being somebody, you know, outside of our relationship.
Yeah.
You know, like, yeah, we are becoming one, true enough, but we have two totally different passions about different stuff. So
Yeah.
two different hobbies. So I definitely want us to have that space to where we can still be the individual in our own worlds.
Yeah.
And not just, you know, like joint at the hip on every, you know, on every little adventure or little thing that we got going on. So
Yeah.
just kind of giving each other that space to grow, like I said, you know, mentally, spiritually, like creatively. So yeah, just creating that space,
Yeah.
I think,
I
to
think
really grow. Because it's almost like a plant in like a pot. You know, like in a small pot, like the plant just kind of gets bigger and it can't really reach its like, you know, full length or full height or whatever, because the pot is still kind of keeping the roots so bunched up. So
yeah.
yeah, that's how I think of it. Just need to be in a bigger pot.
Yeah. And honestly, like, now that I'm thinking about it, and this is why I'm glad we're like kind of reopening the conversation, because we talked in the car about it, but I knew other things were going to come up when we were talking on the pod. So it's good that we're talking about it again. But I honestly think that happened, and it kind of coincides with what last year taught me. But I feel like that happened because last year started off on such like a blissful note.
Yeah.
That like I was very like headstrong focused on being joined to the hip and like attached, because it was like this, like, we're newly engaged, like we're gonna get married, like, so for me, like, I'm in this mindset of like, well, I always want to be around you and I always want to do stuff with you and yada yada yada. But I'm really glad that we talked about that in the car, because the conversation that we were basically having was like how, and we can get into this more a little bit later, but how he has like a brand and things going on like that he wants to like get back into and grow and stuff like that, and kind of like asking me, what is your thing outside of the podcast? Like, what do you like to do? What are you pouring your time and your energy into? And it really stopped and made me think. I was like, well, I mean, I work out, but I was like, am I really pouring into that other than just the hour every day that I go to class? Like, what am I really pouring into that I'm passionate about besides the podcast? Like, the podcast is great. If I could do this full time, totally would. Like, I love this shit. But it is something that we do together. It's not something that I do separately. So the conversation in the car was basically like, and we've had this conversation on here before, of like, who are you outside of your partner? So tough conversation to have, but necessary conversation to have, because it really made me think like, okay, this is a really happy year for me, and that's great, and I feel content, and like I feel like I'm in a good place, but like, okay, now how can we push the envelope a little bit further? Like, you feel stable, you feel like you're good. What now? Like,
Yeah.
Let's
the only thing is to elevate from there.
Exactly. And so that was pretty much the conversation we were having. So, tying that into what I feel like last year taught me was just like, for so long, like even before Devin, I don't know how to describe it. Like, it sounds cliche, but I was very much searching for just like bliss, like happiness, like what brings me peace and happiness. And like last year, I can say the first time in a long time, like that is the 1 year that felt solid to me from beginning to end. Like it started exactly how I wanted it to start. It ended exactly how I wanted it to end. Like, sure, some in-betweens here and there, but nothing like seriously rocked my world upside down last year. Like, for the first time, I felt stable. And ironically, I was like, I feel so happy, but at the same time, like, I feel like I didn't do anything. Like, this is what I was telling you in the car. I was like, it's weird. Like, I've been searching for this feeling for so long, and it's almost like not all the way fulfilling as I thought it was going to be. So it's just like this weird thing where people think like, if I just find this peace and happiness and bliss, like I'll be happy forever. But it's like, not really. Like, it's nice to feel stable and it's nice to feel happy, but like, what are you actually doing to like push yourself and like challenge yourself? Like, so I found this like nice stability, but it's almost like now I'm like comfortable and I need to push myself more. And that was tying into your thing of like, I think we both need to push ourselves more and pursue the things that we're actually passionate about outside of each other, and still be able to work on the podcast together. So that was another thing that we were talking about, was like our capacity in terms of like what we can handle, like on our separate plates, what we can handle together on the podcast, and how we did a self-evaluation of our relationship and realized that we are both very much the same in terms of like, if one little inconvenience or like hardship comes up or something gets a little too hard, like truthfully, we quit. Yeah. Like,
done with it.
Yes. And like, we had went back, not even just last year, like we went all the way back from like when we met through COVID, like, and how our mindset and our drive was so different at that point in time. Now, granted, life is a lot different now.
It seemed like even though the world was in shambles, like
we were thriving.
It's like that's not what we saw. We just saw so much opportunity to go and travel for cheap. And just like
travel for cheap.
Yeah, and just do a bunch of just random stuff. You know what I mean? Like, even though I think we were supposed to be inside, like it kind of gave us like,
I don't know.
It kind of make us appreciate outside, because it's just like when you have that option of just, you know, being able to just come and go as you want. Yeah. I think COVID kind of showed us that, like, take advantage of the sunlight. Like, go out. Like, when you can't go outside, that's when you kind of realize how important being outside really is.
I think the whole world went through this in terms of like, a lot of people lost their jobs too.
Yeah.
So I feel like everybody was very much just like pursuing what they were passionate about and like just appreciating the gift of life. Like, as cliche as that sounds, like so many people were dying. So the people that are still living were like, well, shit, we need to do something with our lives. Like, people are dropping left and right around here. Like, so I don't know, that mindset that we had during that time, like I was saying it in the car, that I wish we had that same drive and want for the things that we're passionate about. Because it's like, I don't know, along the way it dwindled and we lost it a little bit, or we just got real, like, I don't know the word I'm looking for, like easily beat upable. Yeah. Like, I don't know, we lost some toughness along the way in terms of like what we're able to handle and how we handle things. So yeah, that was just a a tough thing to realize about ourselves, but I think coming into this new year, we definitely are changing that.
Yeah, I honestly feel pretty good about this year. Honestly, because I don't know, I think we kind of gained that second win that we were looking for earlier in the year. Like you said, well, last year wasn't a bad year. I will say last year was pretty dope. You know what I mean? All the way through.
I loved last year.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like we have like a different focus this year. Like almost like we have something to prove to ourselves.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
really what it's about. Like it's really us against us right now. Just kind of growing into, you know, a full grown like adult and a plant. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
just kind of stepping into who we're supposed to be, stepping into our true potential, and just trying to reach like that supreme form. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's what our main focus is. Well, I know that's what my main focus is, and just trying to be better. You know what I mean? Just all around, just trying to be like a better person.
Yeah. And better for each other too. Like we
Yeah.
don't take it lightly that we are literally going to be, I mean, we are life partners, but like legally solidifying that we are life partners. Like that's not something
Right.
that we take lightly, and we understand that like we can't just be the same person
Right.
all the way through. And not that, because I've heard people be like, oh, nothing really changed when me and my partner got married. And like, I don't think life really should change, especially for us since we're like living together and stuff already. Like nothing should really change in that fashion. But in terms of like, you are stepping into a new role. Like
Right.
you are changing. And so I think that's just something that we're extra mindful about coming into this year, that like the way we were moving and stuff last year is great. Like we're happy.
Right.
We're solidified. We're good. Yada, yada, yada. But
We found comfort in our routine, basically.
100%.
We really did.
100%. Yeah. Cause like I was saying, like, not that I'm wishing for things to rock my world this year. So relax, but just that I think for myself, like I think both of us, I don't feel like we pushed ourselves enough to like
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
more. So I don't know. I think that's the headspace that we're both in for this year, that we just really want to like push ourselves, elevate. And we talk about it all the time that like, we just feel like we're too talented to be stuck in the place that we're at this time. Like even, and I'm not just talking about jobs, like, I mean, of course jobs, but I'm saying in terms of like just where we are with our projects, where we are with our mindset, like we have too much going for us to stay stagnant
Right.
where we are right now, and in how we move and how we think. So I don't know. I don't know. It was really eye-opening to like talk about that stuff, but
It's almost like moves were made, but not enough. It's almost like not enough. So not necessarily like we didn't make the right moves last year. It was just, it really could have been more. So it's like, I feel like this year we're coming with like the energy we were supposed to have last year.
yeah.
In short, like pretty much the same,
Yeah.
but just like 10 times more like in your face, like out there.
I will say it feels nice, and this is why it's important to like have these conversations, because I truly feel like we are on the same page, like in terms of what we want to accomplish separately, together. Like I feel like we are like, we're on the same path, but it's like parallel. Like I'm here, you're here, but we're going in the same direction. Like
Right. Because like, even when I talk about you at work, like some of the teachers just like, oh, like I was talking to Miss Carmichael today, and she was saying that, you know, oh, like I'm really excited for you and your fiance or whatever. I can't wait like until the wedding and stuff. You know, it sounds like y'all are like, y'all make a good team, like y'all make good partners.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, that's just without her even meeting you.
Yeah.
This is just me just like the fact that I can talk about you in such a way to where people can see the dynamic without seeing it in person. Like it's unbeatable. You know what I mean? Like, so we're definitely moving in the right direction.
we are. We say this
But it's just
We
gotta
say
bring the
this
energy.
every year. I think after 2020 is when we kind of started being like, okay, I feel like we're moving in the right direction. And like we kind of said it last year that we were like, I think it was kind of the same thing. I was like, I feel good, but I just feel like we're not really there yet.
Right.
Like I remember having that conversation. I believe it was also Christmas time.
Yeah, probably.
The year before, like coming home. Like we just always had that conversation where it's like, let's evaluate where we are. It's the end of the year. What type of energy are we coming in to the new year with? And like, what do we want to leave behind? What do we want to bring in? Like, and we always say the same thing. We're like, we feel like we're headed in the right direction,
Right.
but I don't know. Maybe it's because we're getting married this year. I don't know, but it just feels like a little more oomph is behind our words this time around. So,
And then I think it's the energy is just coming from the excitement that we have for
yeah.
the year. Because,
Yeah.
I mean, we get married and, you know,
Yeah.
from there, we like, it just seemed like life can literally, we can make a lot of, you know, trajectory moves to project us a different way. So.
Yeah, I agree. It's exciting. This
It
is
is.
an exciting time. Like, honestly, like, don't get me wrong, this was like a tough conversation having to like make self-realizations and like hold each other accountable in things that we've gotten done and things that we haven't gotten done and things that we said we were going to do and things that we didn't end up doing. And
Right.
it's never an easy conversation to have, but I don't know, it's necessary, truly. But I think too, what helps, and maybe it's just because I'm a planner, but in terms of like when we're talking about goals and things we want to accomplish, like I need to have some sort of plan. Like there has to be some sort of like I can say I want to do better all day, but what are the actual actions I'm going to be doing
Right.
to like make this happen? And so we sat and we were talking about it, and we can kind of talk about our individual stuff now if you'd like, but I know for me, like, US package delivery,
Yeah.
I guess, going on out there, or
Amazon or
Amazon.
something.
Yeah. But I was just kind of talking about how like I don't really know what happened with, well, I do know what happened with dance, just very much like minor inconveniences. Am I okay? Came up, and I very much was just like, nope, this is too hard, drop it. Like, which is wild because that is something that I'm so passionate about, and I just let it go like it didn't mean anything. And so that was the majority of the conversation we were having in terms of like me and my identity and what I'm passionate about and stuff. But I was explaining to him that like for me it was a scheduling thing. Like I started committing to working out and got really into that, and finance wise and schedule wise it was just really hard to like do both. And so but I found that my issue was I was biting off more than I could chew, where I was like paying for full memberships for both things, knowing I didn't have the time or the money to do both. Right. So I was just telling him, I was like, well, I know for sure I don't want to give up working out, like going to bar and stuff like that, because I love doing that. That's my time away from each other to like focus on me, take care of my body, and like do something for myself.
Right.
So I don't want to give that up. So I was like, where can I work dance in between? And I was just saying like, well, why don't I just start with like 2 classes a month, get in there 2 times of the month. Like if I can't commit that, then I really don't want it.
There
So that was just kind of like a plan that I was working out with myself. It's just like, let's try and get in there 2 times a month. If I'm able to do more, great. Like I'll expand the capacity there. But right now, that is what I can handle. So we're going to start there and move forward from that. So, and then we were talking about like my social media content and stuff like that. Like I was doing social media content for like the wing place.
Yeah.
Like I was doing lunch munches. I was on TikTok heavy and stuff like that. And then stuff at work happened, and then boom,
Just
like
stopped.
I stopped doing it. So it's like a pattern with me, and he'll tell you himself too when he talks about his stuff. It's the same thing. Like little things come up, and it's like, oh, this is too hard. I don't want to deal with it. Like next, I'm dropping it. And so that is like my motto for this year. Literally, is like stop thinking, just do. Like literally, just get out of your head and like just do what you want to do and what you're passionate about doing. Like if you have the resources, utilize them and pursue. So that is where I'm at with things. So if you saw my lunch munch today,
Tap in.
go give it a like.
We're back.
We're back, baby.
We're
but
back.
but no, but honestly, truthfully, like a lot of that goes into because I have a partner that pushes me and believes in me. So that's very important to like have somebody who makes you like a better partner and a better person for yourself. So yeah, that's just kind of where I'm at with things. I'm really excited to tap back into things that I love this year. And that's just the type of energy I'm bringing. What about you?
So, me honestly, it's just like just kind of focusing on things and projects that I've started and probably never finished, or just kind of like put on the back burner.
Like what?
And other stuff, so like my brand, and then like getting back into art and stuff like that. So, skateboarding, like I've been wanting to get back into that, playing basketball and stuff again. Like, so just kind of stepping into more of like an active role for myself.
Yeah.
Committing to it, you know what I mean? Even if, you know, saying it's just minor for the week or for the day or whatever, but just trying to get that extra exercise in, just because I'm getting older and I'm having to realize that my body does not operate and work the way that it once did. Like, cause, and not to make it seem like I'm just super old, but just like, I'm just not as agile and stuff as I was, and durable as I was once before. So just kind of like building myself back into that physical state.
Yeah.
So I can, you know, be more mobile, and then, you know, especially once we start having kids and stuff, being able to run around and do stuff like that with kids. So
Yeah.
that's the main thing. And I honestly say like being like, I guess getting out into the community more, especially for like us who we're young and we're in a good place for people who create things, whether it be dance, like the arts, basically. Like, we're in a good place for that. Charlotte has a hub for literally everybody and everything. So I've done a pretty decent job with, you know, getting out into the community, bumping shoulders with the right people, and, you know, supporting a lot of the local acts, and, you know, getting to know them, exchanging information. But I could do a much better job at like making a presence for myself, you know, instead of just, you know, always being the guy that goes out and support, you know what I mean? Which I'll always continue to do that, but just kind of, you know, building a community, you know, of myself for myself here. So especially if we're going to be here for a while. So as far as like art and music and dance and wanting to put events together and stuff like that, like I definitely want to step out a little bit more and, you know, kind of get my name out there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the main thing after we got excited talking about like what we want to do for ourselves and like what we want for the podcast and stuff like that, I pretty much was like, let's pump the brakes for a minute, because this is the part of the conversation, and this is why you see people for the first 2 weeks in the gym and then you don't see them for the rest of the year. It's because like it's great that we want these things to happen this year, and that we have a drive, that we're having these conversations and we're getting excited about all the stuff we want to accomplish this year. But I was pretty much just telling him, I was like, this is where we set ourselves up for failure, because we list like 20 things for the year that we want to do, and then we can't juggle them all at the same time.
Right.
And we start dropping projects and yada, yada, yada. I was like, just focus on the few things that you want to accomplish for yourself this year and just dibble dabble a little bit here and there and just find a groove that works. And so I had made a suggestion, like for your brand or whatever. I was like, you making a comeback on your brand doesn't have to be a merch drop.
Yeah.
Because time, designs, money, resources, like so many things, advertising, like so much goes into a merch drop, and then you do it quickly and you try and find the money for it, and then you try and drop it, and maybe not everybody responds like you want them to, and then you see it as a failed project, and then you don't do it again for the rest of the year. And like those are the situations we run into because we get excited and then we start things. Like me, like I started my own like online dance classes and stuff like that without any like prep or like slow lead up into it, and then it didn't go how I wanted it to go, and then I quit. So it's just, we find ourselves in situations like that because we get too excited. So I was like, instead of coming in with a bang like a merch drop, like why don't you just start posting things back on your page again? Like that doesn't take that much time and effort, but you are putting effort towards something that you are passionate about. And then when you do have the resources and the time and the money and all of that for it, and the advertising, whatever you want to call it, then yeah, you might even have more of a following by then because you've been working on your social media presence. Like there's so many different ways you could go into getting back into projects and getting back into your passions and stuff like that. I just don't want us and y'all that also have a new mindset coming into the year to get overwhelmed with this feeling of like, I have to do all of these things that I'm planning for the year. Like, relax. Relax. Don't stress yourself out. Don't overwhelm yourself. Find a good support group, friends, partners, like family, people that support your dreams and your passions, if those are things that you're going after this year like we are. So, yeah, just don't be so hard on yourself. But at the same time, push yourself a little bit past your boundary, because like I said, that was the situation we found last year, that we got very comfortable and didn't really like excel in the way that we wanted to excel. So yeah, just take it day by day, pick a few things that you're wanting to get back into,
and then just commit.
And commit.
Don't overthink it, just do it.
Yep.
You'll figure out the semantics later. Yeah.
But you can have a little bit of a plan.
Yeah.
But don't go too crazy, because then you start making promises and might not be able to stick to it. Like, and then you might quit, like us. So, but okay. I hope that resonated with you guys. I don't know. I felt like it was a very fitting topic for the first episode back of the new year.
Fresh start.
Fresh start. Yeah. Clean slate. As y'all noticed, we have not said like what we're planning for season 5 and stuff like that, because that is not the headspace that we are
You'll see.
in. Yeah, that's not the headspace that we're in this year. We are just going to do what works for the pod, and the rest we will leave our ears open for feedback from y'all with what y'all would like to see. But we're not going to sit here and be like, oh, and we might have this person as a guest. Oh, we're going to do a merch drop. And, oh, we're going to have this many episodes and yada, 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 and events. And because then we just get too ahead of ourselves. Like, y'all know we get married in April. Times are all over the place right now.
That's the focus.
But, as we said in the car, we are committed. So, we commit an hour every week for the pod, and we will continue to do that, and we will bring entertaining content and good, wholesome content, minus the slacking pictures that we have of each other.
Late night slacking.
We are committed to y'all. We're committed to the podcast. We love that it's something that y'all enjoy just as much as we do, so we are here. Anything else you want to add before we hop into the hookup?
No, I do want to take this time to say pray for the babies, man. True story.
What?
Pray for the babies. The kids, the youth.
Oh,
because they need help. So we're gonna pray for him. Pray for the babies. Man.
Y'all make sure y'all pray for the babies.
Yeah, cause man, the babies, bro.
That's the generation coming up.
Scary.
Scary times.
Very scary.
Oh my goodness. All right, y'all. Let's hop into the hookup.
Holla if you hear me. I got the hookup. Holla if you hear me. I got the hookup. Holla if you hear me. I got the hookup. Holla if you hear me.
All right, y'all. It is your girl hooking y'all up tonight, and I wanted to put y'all on a place that we tried in Florida. Now, before I say anything, you might already know if you were a good snacker and you watched our holiday vlog. But if you missed out, you can still go back and tune in to see what they look like. But I'm plugging y'all into Everglazed Donuts and Cold Brew in Orlando, Florida. So they're located in Disney Springs. Pretty much when you park and walk into, like, I don't know what to call it, Disney Springs.
Yeah.
It's right to your right. Can't miss it. It smells amazing.
Oh yeah,
It's the cutest little donut shop.
donuts are elite.
The donuts are elite. They're specialty donuts. So think of like duck
Very
donuts.
expensive.
They are pricey. Now, one is definitely because they're like in Disney Springs, so everything is just overpriced there. But two, they are pretty decently sized donuts. And like I said, they're specialty donuts. So think more of the lines of like duck donuts and stuff like that. Like bacon and maple flavors, like things like that. So the ones that we got, and you can tune in for like the 5th time that I've said, tune into the last vlog.
Oh yeah.
To see them. I think we got,
That was fine.
they were so good. We got
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch,
Cookies and
cream. We got like a berry one that had like frosted flakes on it.
Yeah.
We had one with like coconut on top.
And like a chocolate
A
peanut
chocolate
butter.
peanut butter. And then we just got like an original glaze because you got to try the
Yeah, gotta
original
keep it
glaze.
regular sometimes.
Of course. So it was really good. Like, highly, highly recommend if you're into sweet donuts. If you're not super into the sweets, they do have like an original menu of just like plain. Like if you just want like a donut, like a glaze, or like a just like a chocolate icing
Right.
on top, they have non-specialty ones. But you got to try the specialty ones.
It only makes
that's
sense, you
the
know.
fun of it. Really large menu too, so it hits like every type of flavor
Yeah.
that you want to try.
All avenues.
All
The
avenues.
possibilities are endless.
Truly endless.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so they are located in Disney Springs. You can go ahead and follow them on IG if you want to see like what some of the donuts look like, the size.
Presentation is.
Yeah, if you're planning a trip to Orlando, hit Disney Springs
Yeah,
and
make
hit
sure
them.
you go do that.
And tell them we sent you.
Yeah.
And to tune into the pod. But
Late Night
yeah.
Snacking Podcast.
Late Night Snacking Podcast. So you can follow them at Everglazed_FL for Florida on IG. And yeah, check them out. Pretty tasty. Let's close it down. All right, y'all. Like all good things, this must come to an end. I enjoyed this first episode back. What about you?
I did too. It's very educational. No, I'm joking. Nah,
I was
it
gonna
was
say healing. So we're on two totally different
nah, it
pages
was
here.
it was good though
It was.
to get that off and kind of start the year off with some personal individual standards.
Yeah. And together
Love to see
stuff
it.
too. We have together goals that we want to reach, which we've obviously talked about because we're getting married and all that good stuff. So, it's good. I'm excited. I feel like we're headed in the right direction, like we
Yeah.
always say.
Just doing what we do, how we always do it.
And that's the truth. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. As always, if you are watching us on YouTube, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Make sure you got the notifications on. Make sure you give a thumbs up to the video, all that good stuff. Share it, comment, engage. engage with us.
Engage, bro. Engagement. That is the golden word for this season.
It is.
We ain't gonna talk about nothing else. We're gonna talk about engagement.
Talk to us. I haven't told y'all in a while, but if you are an audio listener, even if you're not an audio listener, we do post audio episodes on Apple and Spotify. So if you could be ever so kind to help us get on charts, please leave us a review. Even if you don't want to write any words, give us some stars.
Yeah.
That'll help.
Just give us stars. That'll work.
Anything helps if you don't feel like writing a review. But a review, stars, anything like that would help us, you know, get on charts and for people to see the pod. So, yeah. And then lastly, if you do not follow us yet on Instagram,
go do that.
Please do, because
it's kind of mandatory at this point.
We
in season 5.
We're in season 5.
Really should have been following us in season 2.
If you're new here, it's a pass. But at LNS the podcast on IG, make sure you're following us, because that has every update. Like every time we post an episode, every time we post a vlog.
That's the key. That's the guide.
A random Merry Christmas, a happy birthday, Devin. Like all of the fun content is on IG. So make sure you were tuned in. All right. I think that is it. Thank y'all for joining us. And we will see y'all next Wednesday.
All right, y'all.